You already know the business, homie. You already know the business is. Assalamu alaikum, people. Doing what it do, man, on a nice, it ain't gonna nice, it's where it's nice and bright, but it's cold in the mug out here on these streets. I know it's about 20, 25. Why, man, what about you, cuz?
It's 29 degrees currently.
Mm, 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 mm. Goodness
And
gracious.
just so y'all know, I'm in Kentucky. I'm about 55 to 60 minutes away from my man now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So everything been going good, huh?
We don't complain about nothing because we still amongst the living.
Woo! Hey, keep on ticking.
We don't complain about nothing.
Oh no.
We could always say things could be better, but if we live and we got a chance to get it better, we got a whole nother chance to get it better. So we cool with that.
Oh man, you already know. You already know. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, people. Like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. So, brother, man, we could just go along these past 2 weeks. Now, our stuff might not be in no order or whatnot, but it's been so much going on that, man, we could just cook on all aspects. First, I want to cook on what everybody was anticipating seeing last, 2 weeks ago? I'm sure you seen the movie Black Panther, correct?
Yeah.
Now,
we went and saw it also, so yeah.
Okay. Now, me personally, I tried to watch the first one, and I after trying to watch the first one, I could not watch the second one, which I was not gonna watch the second one. But what I seen out of the first one, and because man, I fuck with the Hebrews, man. The Hebrews fuck with me because that's a part of our tribe, right? And when they told their perspective of that movie, which is the truth, because I'm a black living in America, when I seen that, I thought about genocide. And I bet people like, why would you think about genocide in Black Panther? Well, you know where he had to come back to America to see his brother, the African, and he ended up they fought, didn't they?
Yeah, well, yeah.
And he killed him, right?
Yes.
And then he dipped out on the little boy that was left behind, which was Michael B. Jordan's character, correct?
True.
I look at that as how the Africans left us in America. Yeah, I look at that just how that is, man. It's just like they didn't come and help us. And that bullshit at the end about the damn little community center, the fuck was that? The fuck was that?
Well, let me tell you how I do with these movies, man. I never do put that kind of weight on them like that, you know what I mean? I never do look into them like that, you know what I mean? I kind of leave them for what they is, how I remember them as a kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And roll with it like that, because if I get to going through all that, I probably won't be watching them myself.
But you know what? What's so crazy? It's like the comic book version of Black Panther. He was more Malcolm X than he was in this movie. In the movies, period. Because, who was that? Stan Lee. He could really write to that character.
Yeah. Stan Lee was amazing, though.
Oh, man. But for part 2, how the feminist movement is going, and every race of people, I always see the man when it's time to fight, right? We always see the white man when it's time to fight. We always see the Asian man when it's time to fight. We always see the Mexican man when it's time to fight, right?
Right.
Why, when it's always time to stand up for a hardcore meaning and fight, why do black people always got to resort to having a black woman representing us fighting? That is not, and to see the lack of males leadership is sickening, man.
Well, I think everything's trending in that way. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And at one time in that movie or that series situation, women ran the whole situation. You know what I mean? And you even look to the days past. Look at Queen Elizabeth, man. She ruled. She did what she did forever. You know what I mean? And there wasn't gonna be a man in power until she passed away, and she did. So now I don't know. I don't think you'll ever see another queen in our lifetime. You know what I mean?
Boy, but I tell you what, it to me, it just seemed like when it's time for a black man to stand up be strong and take a stand for something. A black woman always got to be the front for it and be right at the head. Like, woman, get beside me. You get behind. You don't need to be trying to fight with me. But they are the only people. Black women are the only women that go hard like that, man.
Well, I think I don't know, man. In today's time, it just looks like it's trending that way for some odd reason. You know what I mean? That women are being a lot more uplifted now than they ever were, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But with that comes, I think, what you see now. You know what I mean? Access to too much power. You know what I mean? And no woman really wants to be beside a man. They want to be, or not behind them or anything like it. They want to be in front of them at the very least.
And you know what? And that is a wrong way of thinking. That is a wrong way of thinking from a female because females can't have that pressure like that, like a man pressure.
It's a lot of wrong ways of thinking according to everybody else. But like I say, for one person that'll tell you that this is cool, the next person will make that be cool too. You know what I mean? So everybody has the argument. You know what I mean? You just got to be able to look through both lenses and decipher which one or which side you're gonna be on of it. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't think the strong man really exists today. Honestly, you know what I mean? And that's a reflection of the way you raise these kids and so forth and so on. You know what I mean? I don't see a lot of strong men anymore. I really don't.
No, and you know what? And what's so sad, we caught the ass end of it. And you see boys don't even have the ambition to learn how to drive. I'm like, y'all don't want to learn how to drive? Oh no, I can Uber. What the fuck? Really?
Like you say with the ass in, and my definition of the ass in is absentee parentism. You know what I mean? Where you may have you got a one parent home, and I think all that started pretty much when we were kids. You know what I mean? Now, what's been going on since the end of time? Been going on since the end of time. Men been doing what they do, and women been doing what they do, but nobody ever left the home. They all raised their family together. Even though Papa went across the street or whatever the case may be, he still stayed at home. You know what I mean? And the home wasn't broken up. Nowadays, the home is severed. Families are all over the place.
And it starts at home, but if you don't have no backbone at home, period, it's not the same. It's not going to be the same. And when I came along, we all came along that you had some unified family. You had a nuclear family. Some folks had a father and a mother, but then you had a lot of single mothers, and it was a big difference between the upraising the boy and the female that they had in it. They would go more harder on the female and more lenient on the son.
Well, for me, I could say my mom was a single mom, but she really wasn't. You know what I mean? I had two stepdads. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I had my biological father. So she always tried to keep some type of male figure around me. And, I do appreciate her for that. You know what I mean? She always tried to do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes she may have made a relationship or two work that otherwise wouldn't have for the benefit of me just to have a male figure around. You know what I mean? I think she knew how important it was.
Yeah. A lot of women ought to try to use that vantage point instead of just being vindictive, especially with the father that is his biological father. But, don't get me twisted, women. I know you try to be modern and you got to get your groove on, but you just have everybody around your children. You got to have some type of positive influence around,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
But yeah, let's cook on this Kyrie Irving situation, man. Oh man, I mean this.
I may be a little biased toward Kyrie Irving, and I tell people this all the time because I absolutely don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just me. I just don't like him. I'm a Boston Celtic fan. I'm a University of Kentucky Wildcat fan. And I've been following this kid since he was in high school. You know what I mean? I had hopes of him coming to our school. And he went to the enemy. And then he came to Boston, and that was a complete shit show. You know what
Oh
I mean?
man.
And I was hoping that they traded him and got something for him before he exited the building. Or anything. It was just a waste of time. He was a waste of time there.
Yeah.
And they were just way too loyal to him for him to just do them the way they did. They would have paid him whatever kind of money he wanted to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was like, if you could have played team ball, that was a good team. It was a good squad if you could have played team ball, but I guess, the individual playing the NBA right about now.
It's some stuff he says that I'm cool with, and it's some things he do that I ain't really cool with. You know what I mean? Like the vaccination thing, I was totally cool with him not being vaccinated.
Now,
I was totally cool with that. I mean, I didn't have no problem with that whatsoever. Some more stuff he does, I think he knows better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if he don't know any better, I think the folks around him do. Because, you know what I mean? Let's be honest with him about this stuff, man. A lot of these people ain't even got their own telephone, man. Somebody else holding their telephone for them. They may have 3-4 different telephones, and they got people that's tweeting for them and all this, that, and the third. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they normally don't know what happened until it didn't happen. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, I guess they mad about the link that he posted.
Yes.
About and my thing is, he really what did he do?
Well, it was allegedly, I guess, it was a retweet with no caption or anything.
And my thing is, okay, and if people go back and do the research and it's just you already know what the situation is. It's a control thing, and it goes back to me saying I really don't even go in details with it. Why y'all ain't got your own league? I don't understand that. I don't understand it whatsoever, man.
Okay, but I mean, the trigger down effect is too cold. You know what I mean? Now you can't say. There's a lot of stuff you just cannot say or you cannot do, and especially when you're in that position. And the trickle down effect is a trickle down all the way to comedians. Like comedians can't even, you know what I mean? They could make jokes about gays before that they can't even say anything about them. And they're comedians, and I thought they could just, everything was of the norm, that they could speak about. But they don't want them talking crazy nowadays. You got to keep your jokes kind of under wraps now. You know what I mean?
But here go my thing. Them ABC people, but they could be aggressive all day.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up. That's real fucked up. And that's
what I learned about the Jews that I didn't know is that they run a lot of things. They make a lot of things go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that until all this stuff here happened. So, you know what I mean? I suspect he knew that. And maybe just like Kanye West, you like what you like and you do what you do. You ain't got to like everything. You ain't got to be. You ain't got to be what everybody is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm cool with that too.
It's just that if you know what the power is, man, you would think that one would rise up with that and just be like, nah, I could just do me, brand my own self. Like a lot of those rappers. Look at those rappers now. Like the old school, they ain't in no contracts no more. They're not trying to go Hollywood. They said, shit, fuck that.
Scares me about people is they can take your bag. As fast as they can give you that bag, as fast as they can take it. And they'll take it.
They'll take it. But if you can generate another income without using theirs, then they'll come begging back for you. You see what I'm saying? That's what
they will. They will if you cold enough to get through the rubbish.
That's what made those athletes and those entertainers back in the day, some of them, hard up because they took a stand. These motherfuckers ain't taking no stands, man.
No. But it came at a price, though. I don't know if anyone, says that or will say it out loud, but it definitely came at a price.
Oh, fuck yeah. Believe that. Everything's a price now.
Colin Kaepernick, for instance. I don't know what he made away with when he won his lawsuit, but it came with a price. You know what I mean? Look, he was never able to play. He can't play football anymore. You know what I mean?
And
they'll give him a tryout. They'll put him on ESPN and all of those stuff there. But in reality, the situation is they ain't fucking with him, and they ain't never gonna fuck with him again.
That's fucked up too. And you know what's so crazy? He about better than about 75% of them quarterbacks out there, and fresh body, a fresh fucking body. He ain't been touching what 6 years, a fucking fresh body, and they still don't want to use it.
No, they're not going to use it. They have no, and they don't have any qualms about it. You know what I mean? It's all a shit show, and that's what. And if he wants to have a shit show, then I guess they'll have one with him. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna look politically correct in the whole situation anyway. But they ain't gonna do anything to damage that shield. You know what I mean? But you're not going to do anything to damage it either.
Man,
especially black man.
Wouldn't it be so lovely? Wouldn't it be so lovely if all black men to say, you know what? To hell with the NFL, man. You know what? Take our contracts, do what you need. Y'all need us. Bye. We through with it.
Well, you know, when he took the knee, I said to myself, man, I thought about it, and I said, I don't think it's another person in the NFL that could have took a knee and really got away with it but Tom Brady. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's sad.
Yeah, he'd have lost a few people, but I think he'd have gained a few people just as much as he'd have lost. He'd have also gained. But Tom Brady is the face of the NFL. You know what I mean? But that's a white man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I thought it would have spoke values for a white man to take a stance on racism. You know what I mean? And say that it's not right, no matter what color I am. You know what I mean? But Tom Brady ain't gonna mess up his bag.
Mm-mm.
Ain't got nothing to do with me. Tom Brady, people probably told him, not you, buddy.
None of them niggas fucking up that bag, man. That's in the NBA, NFL, whatever. They ain't fucking up that bag. I mean, just like how Kyrie eventually had to, go through his little steps to get back in the league, which I thought that was crazy as hell. Because nobody should have to educate me on my history and you not my color. And you not my hue. Right. Like, how the hell you going to educate me? If that's the case, we can be like, okay, how did we get here? See there, and then we'll talk about that. See, be a whole different ball game then. It'd be a whole different ball game.
Cases like LeBron could speak out.
He ain't gonna do that, man.
Michael Jordan.
He ain't gonna do that.
Jordan could have spoke out. Magic Johnson, they could have spoke out.
It wasn't their time. There ain't no be their time. It's just like.
But they're not gonna speak out, but they have that power to do so without losing anything. You know what I mean? They just have the voices of that power.
And the thing is, they can cut the throats off of these corporations. NBA, Major Leagues, NFL, have them by the nuts. You take all the brothers out of the NFL, what the fuck you got? You have the CB, what's that, Canadian League? Nigga, ain't nobody watching that shit.
Well, somebody, of course, somebody's going to tell you, you got a lot of people to take care of. You got to take care of mama, you got to take care of brother, you got to take care of cousins, man. If you mess this up, you messing up not only you, but you messing up a lot.
Hey man, here go my thing. Here go my thing. The person been through it. Was y'all in the gym shoot free throws with me? Y'all didn't think I wasn't gonna make it. Now that I made it, y'all want to try to get off me? The hell with y'all. Y'all talking about my mama doing all this. Yeah, I be thinking about the middle end of the shit. You don't owe everybody.
Yeah. So. So for some folks, man, that means something to them. And for some people, like you said, you wasn't with me when I was shooting in the gym.
Fuck that, man. And you know what? It's just like, and that's that free, just like that type of pressure right there. It's the same pressure we caught when we was graduating out of high school. They would be making that pressure. Oh, you gotta go to school. You gotta go 4-year college. You gotta go do this. For what? I don't even know what the hell I want to do when I get up out of here.
Yeah, it's scary.
That's very scary, man. Very scary, man.
It really, if you ain't got the game, man, you lost out here, man. Until you figure it out, man. And you may be 35, 36 before you even figure it out.
And it's something every day. It is something every day. That's why, I talk about mental health for these young men out here. Because they looking for love, which they really shouldn't be looking for. They should be looking for responsibility. But when they're trying looking for love, they go all in and get their hearts broke. Because they know these females are more advanced than these boys. But they thinks with the other head. You know what I mean?
Well, we just talked about it at the beginning of the segment there about the powers of female. That also goes to now. You know what I mean? You looking back in the day when a man would have 4 or 5 girlfriends or something. You know what I mean? and it is what it is. But if a female had 4 or 5 boyfriends, she would be labeled as a whore, you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And for at that period of time, I think that meant something to the female. Nowadays, I don't think it means anything. I think they just gonna, you know, they gonna run over top of you.
Boy, and I tell you what, boy, these tater thoughts out here, I'm cool with it. 'Cause guess what? Guess what?
You know, you would think at the age you're at now that you could find something, you know, in your ballpark.
Boy, woo, Skywalker. Woo, Skywalker. Boy, if you don't hush.
They just is dangerous.
That's why I said, you know, with the young, you know, you're going to come with the little, they're going to come with the attitude, whatnot, but you can kind of slick mold them and you can get what you need and go on about your way. I ain't trying to be up under you. You know what I'm saying? But with them older ones, they act like, they 1985 cars, man. They want 22 prices. You know what I'm saying? Girl, if you don't go some goddamn well, that shit, you should be giving that shit away like Kevin Samuels said. You should be giving that shit away. But you making a nigga play up, down, down, left, right. Man, go on smoke that shit.
Social media, I think, has a big part to play in all this stuff too. You know what I mean? Because you hear so many different voices, and depending on what you're going through that day, you know what I mean. You may hear something, and you might be like, "I'm going through that," and what they talking about is, you know, sounds about right. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, you made $100,000 mistake from this next motherfucker just stand fall in your heart. You know what I mean? But that's what's important at the end of the day.
Damn right. And you right. You right. And my thing is, you know, people say the heart, which, you know, it's that gut feeling that you know that voice, but sometimes you have a tendency just to avoid that motherfucker. You feel me? And then you know your gal a hoe. You know your gal a hoe, nigga. Guess what?
But like, you know, I no longer put a cap on men and women, you know, girls or boys. I kind of look at things as in both sexes, men and women, because both of them can equally do what each other can do. The equal damage is equal. Trust and believe it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I done seen men get the fuck over on women, and I done seen women get the fuck over on men. I done seen it from both sides of the tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but my thing is, you know, everybody knows. You know if you're being done wrong. Period. Point blank.
Yeah.
It's important to don't let anyone tell you you're stupid or you're crazy or anything like that, because you know when you get fucked.
Yeah, and then you making slants for the motherfucker. You going long for the motherfucker. You going. I'm talking about a halfback diamond for a motherfucker who up there sucking and fucking another motherfucker. I mean, shit like that happen. You know, and I tell the young cats at the job, they be like, "What, hey, I be like, man, I ain't gonna tell you nothing that's, you know, it's gonna to go past your ears. I'm gonna tell you raw. You might not like it, but guess what? I'm just tell you what it is." And I be like, "You think your gal gonna be 100 with you?" "Oh yeah, man, my gal, she 100. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't going." I said, "How old is she?" "Oh, she 20. She 21." I said, "Boy." "You think she gonna be with you the rest of your life, boy?" I said, "Boy, whatever."
I don't see, and that's another thing. See, I don't know if it's even right to discourage him and tell him what you know or what your experiences have been, because, you know, because I'm pretty sure mine and yours have about been the same as far as that goes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm with you in that ballpark there. But I kind of hate to mess it up for him, because sometimes fairy tales come true. You know what I mean? Sometimes you do find that diamond rough, you know, and make it out to the side. You know what I mean? Sometimes it happens.
You know what my sister used to tell me? Especially at the age of these motherfuckers going through that niggas' phones and shit, going through hoes' phones. Yeah. You go looking for trouble, guess what? You gonna find that motherfucker.
That's true too though. That's true too though.
You know what I'm saying? So really, that motherfucker.
In the grand scheme of things, you really need to play everything right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whether you're a man or a woman, you need to play it right. You know what I mean? And get what you can get out of it. Get what's worth out of it. My other advice would be to just relax and let the chips fall where they may. You know what I mean? I'm not saying have a big ball of fun, you know what I mean? But I'm saying just take your time.
And walk down the hill. I tell my son all the time, man, don't be in a hurry. You walk down the hill. Don't run. You
Yeah.
got a long way to go. Long way, son.
I honestly think you know what you got when you know what you got. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know if you got something special and if it's worth keeping and worth holding on to. I think you know that. Now the downside is to it is just you know not being able to see. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you think you know what you got, but you don't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like a player in the NBA. You know what I mean? He come in, he's 6'11", he can shoot the ball, he can run the floor like a gazelle. So his potential, his ceiling is high, but does he ever achieve his potential? You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And that's the
Hell
thing with the
yeah.
relationships too. Do they ever mature? Do they ever go beyond what they need to be? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's the thing. Like I said, the mental health thing. I think brothers need to really experience, come to it, and it's just like a muscle, man. You know, you just have to learn from your past. You can't live in it, but you got to get
Yeah.
strong and learn from it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lesson learned from everything. Cause like I tell everybody, man, I lost my mom at 13. I could have gave up a long time ago. Long time ago. But you have to get over it. You gotta have amnesia on that thing. You feel me?
Yeah. So let me ask you this though. So you lost your mother at 13, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this with no disrespect. Say, for instance, you had lost your mother at 26. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like right when you like out of high school and really trying to figure things out. Do you think that would have had a bearing on you more so than ever? You know, even at 13. Because I mean, at 13 you're kind of young. You know what I mean? But at 25, 26, your feelings are a whole lot different. You process things a whole lot different. You know what I mean? And you also had another. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a counsel. I would have had a counsel that was the opposite. Now I can always talk to, and always just like I have my father right now. Oh man,
Right.
I mean, yeah, and you know, by me having my father around like that, it kind of balances me off, especially with my son, having life with my son. Now I do miss my mom. I miss her. I miss her like a mug.
Right.
But the life would have been it would have been different.
But I mean, because if nothing else, you got more knowledge coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got more knowledge coming.
coming.
Yeah, and you know what? It seemed like it'll be a hard avoid. Simple fact, I had her, but not to have her no more. You know what I'm saying? Rather than not having her.
I think the most critical part of a mother and son's relationship is a mother sending her son out into this world to be with another woman and, you know, treat the woman the way the woman should be treated. I think that's critical.
And it is. And you know, maybe that would have been my problem in relationships. Was I trying to find my mother in different women?
Mm-hmm.
Was I the common denominator? I could have been, but sometime I know I wouldn't, because there's some crazy motherfuckers out there. but man, that's a good question. But yeah, definitely it would have affected me more. I believe it would affect me more time if I had with her rather than without her, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because let me have this at 26, I would have been dependent like hell on mama.
Okay. See, that's what I'm getting to. You know, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can't call nobody like, mama, these bitches ain't shit, mama.
Yeah.
They ain't shit.
And you know what? My mom's still alive. You know what I mean? She stays in Georgia, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I stay here in Kentucky, and you know, I ain't never really been able to reach out and touch her. You know what I mean? When I get her, you know, I just ain't never been able to run to her because she's not there. You know what I mean? She's here physically on Earth, but it's not like when I was a kid. We stayed in the same house. You know what I mean? Honestly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can pick up the telephone and call. I do have that, and I'm grateful for that. But like you said, you know, I'd probably be way too dependent on her at this point. You know what I mean? By her being right here with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
And honestly, she ain't never dove in none of my relationships anyway. So that probably ain't even her thing, man. Because she don't even do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I tell anybody, you know, if I got the opportunity to say what's up, I always do that. You better believe that.
Yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
if she made a did you wrong or daddy made a did you wrong.
Yeah.
Always,
Yeah.
man. Just
Yeah.
always give
Yeah,
honesty.
man. Yeah.
Because you know what?
Yeah.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan put in my head, like, birthdays and all that, that is so fucking arrogant of a person to celebrate their fucking birthday. You know why?
Talk to me.
How the hell did they get here?
Uh-huh.
Who do you need to honor for your birthday?
Uh-huh.
Your mom and your daddy. Because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be here. So how the hell you gonna arrogate yourself for something you had nothing to do with?
I never heard that before. I never heard that before, man. That makes some good sense right there. That's crazy. I never heard that.
And look how fast we get caught up in being a god on the birthday. You ain't had nothing to do with that.
Yeah. And, you know, maybe some people didn't had a rough go of it, you know what I mean? And then that day come around and they celebrate that day. But I never thought about it that way, though.
And you know what? Losing a parent will make you think of stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I have to really honor them, because if it wasn't for them hooking up at that right time, at that right moment, I would not be.
You don't even have a birthday.
You don't.
That's crazy. I never thought about that, but that's a great idea. You should celebrate your mother and your father on your birthday.
My daddy, he get a kick out of every time my so-called that day come around. I call dad, like, Dad, thank you for hooking up with my mama. And look, taking them 2 minutes to create me. Hey, boy. Hey, he get tickled to death, boy, but he love that shit. You hear me? We talk on the phone, boy, almost like an hour every time we talk.
No doubt.
Oh,
That's
yeah, man. Oh, yeah, dude.
That's what it is.
Yeah, man. But, man, it's so what do you think about the what's her name? The woman in Atlanta that lost the race, and she blamed the black men.
Well, for me, I work in that field.
Oh Lord! Ooh.
I work with and whatnot, and it was a shit show on all fronts everywhere. Even where I'm from, we lost all the races. You know what I mean? So I just think we got to do a lot better job with our voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's very, very important. That's the most important shit of them all.
And you know what's so crazy?
But it really, really, truly is. You know what I mean? It makes a whole lot of difference. It's so forth and so on. You know what I mean?
Man, and that's like the we got like 7 more minutes on the mic, man.
Okay.
My what's name about to go down. But that's like the general, we were talking about strong male leadership, man. And we shouldn't have our women, don't get me wrong, our women got that education thing down. But strong leadership, women gonna get up under that. Be like, shit, hell yeah.